Hey YouTube, Dawson Ryder here with just a little bit of Power Rangers news, toy reveal, discussion, little mini rant. I wanted to do this video just to sort of vent about these types of figures they release, you know. Mainly for fun, to be honest. This isn't a like, oh my god, Hasbro's gonna kill the brand, didn't paint it, they're gonna kill the brand. It's just kind of a fun video. It's a fun video. Sort of. Well, what remains to be seen. We'll find out. We gotta look at some more new Dino Fury toys on the horizon, which are some bike figures, which are these sort of ripcord bike figures. They're like Beyblades, but without the fun. And it's really funny, the reason I wanted to do the video is because it's kind of like a mirror-verse version of the way Bandai used to do bike figures. Well, the way Bandai used to do bike figures after RPM, because to be fair, back in the day, pre-RPM, we actually had pretty good bike figures. Like, usually they would come with a pretty decent figure. Like, back in the Lightspeed type days, it was basically just the basic figure. And then we would get ones with, like, funny armors on them and stuff. But they were decently painted, fine figures for what they would be. You know, Strike Rider, Cruise type figures. Totally fine. The bike would look good. All around, decent-ish releases. And then after RPM, we started this trend of not painting the bike figures. We painted the bikes, but the bike figures just slowly became less painted. I feel like if Bandai still owned it for Dino Fury, we would just be getting literally an unsculpted brick. It was getting, like, embarrassing. And what's funny about this release is that it's like the inverse of that, where the figure is painted, it almost looks identical to the basic figures, but the bike is barely painted. Now here's the thing, this is the kids line, and I fully acknowledge that, and I don't want to be one of those older fans trying to say what kids are into and what kids will like, but I just think it's kind of embarrassing to put this product out to represent your company. Like, this is clearly just meant to be more of a fun figure. I'm not saying this needs to be collector's grade paint or even anything close to that. You know, it's meant to kind of have the fun of the ripcord feature, so you don't really need it to look good for that. But I just think when you put something like this on the shelf, or the way the Bandai figures used to look with the unpainted figures, so at one point we were just getting the visors painted, I think it just represents the company bad. Like, it looks like a poor quality product like you would see as a bootleg at Big Lots or Ross or something, as like a bootleg figure that just said Rangers, and it's like this really bad looking figure. Like, that's what it looks like. And I also hate the logic of kids are too dumb to care, so let's just like sign off on this. Like, that, it feels like it's a physical representation of the way the show is felt, where like, oh, well, we can't have too many plots or other things because kids are just too dumb, so we better just dumb this down, let's just sign off on it. And that's what it feels like to me. And again, kids are probably still going to like this. They're probably still kids that like this and don't care about the details. Again, I'm not saying details should be a priority, but I think they should calibrate it a little bit, so it's like, yeah, it doesn't have to look that good because it's meant to be more of a feature figure, but don't make it look like an embarrassment to humankind. Like, I can only speak for when I was younger. Like, details and accuracy is something I cared about more and more as I got older, but I did appreciate them looking good when I was younger. Like, I remember one of the first Lightspeed rescue things I ever picked up was the bike figure. Because the figure was basically the same as a basic figure, I got a cool bike and a figure. So I always appreciated when it looked good and it enticed me to buy it, and I did appreciate it looking like the show. Like, I still do this. I like watching the show and being like, that's really cool, I want to get something from it. And then going to the shelf and thinking, oh yeah, that's exactly what I want, that's exactly what it looked like. So I appreciated that. So, you know, I'm not saying to make these collector grade, but make it a little bit more presentable. You know, I think it's kind of a shame that they look so bad. What do you guys think about these types of figures? Do you think it doesn't really matter if they look presentable or not because they're just meant to be fun? What do you think about the, I was going to say the evolution, but more accurately, the de-evolution of bike figures across the years? Let me know in the comments as always. Until next time, like, comment, subscribe, and climb the steps and ring that bell so you can get notifications for my videos. Dawson Ryder, signing out.